From the home of lacrosse in Sparks, Maryland, the 2025 Atlas Cup is ready to lift off. 8 teams, 4 games, featuring the best players in the world, all set for a weekend showdown that starts right now. It's a picture-perfect day for lacrosse in Sparks. We're about 20 minutes north of Baltimore and lined up for the Atlas Cup. This tournament opener starts on the women's side as Team Canada runs Tierney Field against Team Puerto Rico. A very pleasant welcome to you alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. I'm Joe Beninati. Court, there's a lot of excitement surrounding this international event. What are your expectations for Canada and Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico is going to have their hands full. Canada is coming off a silver medal at the World Games. They showed their dominance in the sixes style of lacrosse. It is similar to the box lacrosse, which Canada also dominates.
So we're about to get you dialed in for how this Atlas Cup tournament will play out. There are 4 teams on each side. Courtney, as we take a look at the at this event playing out, the United States, Canada, Team Haudenosaunee, and Team Puerto Rico are involved on the men's and women's side. One winner each way.
The Atlas Cup format, round robin play, so we will not see any championship brackets. Every single game matters. The head-to-head first, then they look at the total for goals against, and then goal differential if there happens to be any ties.
So today is day 1 of the event, Courtney. Canada and Puerto Rico opening the Friday slate. 3 more big games will follow in both the men's and women's bracket.
As we look at the matchups today, first it's Canada versus Puerto Rico, and then looking at the men's side, we have Canada versus Haudenosaunee, U.S. versus Puerto Rico, and then ending a big day, Team USA versus the Haudenosaunee at 8:30.
Back-to-back Stars and Stripes at 7 and at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. For those of you who may be experiencing the sixes discipline of lacrosse for the first time, we can offer these bullet points to have on your plate.
The biggest part about sixes is it's incredibly fast, just 4 8-minute quarters, but these players are running the entire time. They have 30 seconds to get a shot off on goal. 6 players are out on the field. That is including the goalkeeper, so it's just a 5v5. You're going to notice that the field is much smaller, no long poles in the men's game, and very similar to basketball. If you take a shot and it goes out of bounds, there's going to be a change of possession.
These are star-filled teams both ways. It's time for us to feature a couple of the standouts in Game 1. Courtney, on the Canadian side, Erica Evans is definitely going to set the tone.
Erica Evans is just a veteran player for Team Canada. She's been a part of their program since 2015. And would you believe it, in 2015, 17, 24, 25, that's a lot of different styles and disciplines of lacrosse, from box to field to sixes. She's been an all-world team member.
On the other side of the equation, Bri Casquillo should be a goal-scoring threat for Puerto Rico.
Bri Casquillo, she is one of the youngest players here at the Atlas Cup and for Puerto Rico. She just finished her graduate year at Oregon, played 4 years at Yale, so she does have that NCAA experience.
The 2025 Atlas Cup is underway. Javier Mazda, Liz Brush, Kathy Russo, Chris Niblock, your officials, with Team Canada in the white getting the first possession, a 30-second shot clock in sixes lacrosse. From the bad angle, snapshot score right off the bat. Tucking it home, it's Erica Evans.
Erica Evans, a natural lefty. You're going to see on the offensive side of the ball, if you're a lefty, you're going to be on that left-hand side. Righties on the right. You generally don't see a lot of hand switching. You want to keep it in your dominant hand as much as possible because the game is so quick.
Pop it from the outside with Hannah Lewis off the sweep. Defended there by Peroni. Shot clock's at 10. Lucia Nash-Lagares working in against Evans. Snapshot score from the perimeter. Well outside, that was Hannah Lewis to make it 1-1.
In sixes, whenever you can answer back and get a goal with your possession, that means you're doing something right on the offensive end of the field. It's fast, it's quick, so you want to make sure to get the best quality shot in that 30 seconds, not just shooting to shoot.
Delana Williams missed the mark there. The difference in sixes, there's no backup in that sense. When you shoot and do not hit the cage or the goalie goes across the end line, it's a turnover back to the opposing team.
You have to be humble. You have to make sure to have that best quality look while still having a sense of urgency, because you do just have 30 seconds to get a quality shot.
Carrasquillo's first touch, working in against Bianca Chevery. Carrasquillo, who scored 40 with Oregon this past season in NCAA play. Down the alley, not a lot of running room for Isa Henson-Vendrell. Isa Henson-Vendrell watching this ball come back to Team Canada. We're underway with the 2025 Atlas Cup on the USA Lacrosse YouTube channel. Folks, don't miss your chance to win cash prizes. Details are in the live chat. To the goal, good stop there. Torres making the denial on Courtney. Puerto Rico in the red will clear with Adriana Nojame-Jimenez.
And substitutions happen on the fly, so you're going to see players consistently maybe take 1 or 2 runs back and forth. It's some hot temperatures out here, and again, the game is very fast. There's not a second to rest as you play both sides of the ball.
Henson-Vendrell off the split dot. She scores and gives Puerto Rico the advantage. Racing back, looking to counterattack quickly. There's Torres again, straightening up to deny on Nicole Peroni. Puerto Rico in the lead. You have 10 seconds to clear the midline in sixes lacrosse.
So this is going to be a minor foul. For 30 seconds, Canada's going to be a player down. Brooklyn Walker-Welch, number 7 in white, is going to take a seat. So none of the penalties in sixes are releasable. You have to serve the entire length of time. This one, just a minor foul, so only for 30 seconds.
Puerto Rico working a player up. 42 in the red is Hunter Roman. They feed it to the interior. That one looking for Carrasquillo. She'll chase it down with a little help from Hannah Lewis. Shot clock's at 9. Lewis drawing a double, lets it fly, and that one's eaten up by the netminder Lauren Spence. Still young, but growing into her skill set, according to head coach Sean Williams. So a failure on the player up for Puerto Rico, and then subsequently a turnover back to Canada. Brooklyn Walker-Welch will bring it in. All world at the World Lacrosse Championships, 7 in the white. Hails from Ontario, north of the border. Annabelle Child feeds, and Walker-Welch stuffs it home.
You again see the field split in half. Working the left side to the right. A lot of picks in sixes. Quick ball movement. A lot of team play within this discipline.
Seebach looking inside. Bustamante kicks it back out with 10 seconds to shoot. Switch it to the interior. Shot, score! On the run, cashing in Sofia Herrera. Ahead of the field, Evans walks in and she counters quickly.
The quicker that a goalkeeper can get the ball out of the cage or just out of their stick, you can push the fast break situation, which we just saw Canada do with Erica Evans sprinting downfield. Again, there's no draws except for the start of each quarter, so the game moves so fast. Spence
with a good stop there, taking care of Lucia Nash-Lagares. We're tied up at 3. Erica Evans has a pair of tallies already for Team Canada. Bianca Chevery working down the lane. She'll spin back against the defense of Sophia Karetcher. Good roll dodge to the inside. Another fine stop. Child was denied by Torres. Joe Torres, who played her last 2 collegiate seasons at nearby Towson. Canada pressing it. 5-on-5 here in the sixes discipline. Include the goalies. There's your 6-on-6. At the offensive end, Baxter towering over her defender. Maddie gets room and fires. That's off the headgear of Torres. It'll ricochet out of bounds. Canada stays with possession.
That's right. Anytime that there's a save and that ball goes out of bounds, again, it's touching that defensive player. And actually, the post also count in a shot clock reset.
It's a fresh shot clock for Canada as head coach Sean Williams asks for time. He says that there are so many of the box lacrosse principles used in sixes. Says that the teams tend to go, and players tend to go with their strong hands, but after a while, with the game so fast, you're going to be finding players working from both flanks.
You know, Canada is known for having excellent stick work. The very first sixes matchup in a championship format was in the World Games in 2022. Canada bested Team USA, winning just their second gold as an entire national program, their first one coming with their U19 team, and that was in World Championships back in England. But Canada, as you want to talk about what you're doing on the offensive end of the field, their shot selections, that's the biggest thing that I've noticed, and I know something that they wanted to work on from the past World Games, this past 2025 in Chengdu, China, as we've seen a lot of their shots have been a little bit off the mark.
Puerto Rico giving them a good tussle through the first 6 minutes of this contest. 8 minutes running time quarters in Atlas Cup 2025. Under 30 seconds, the whistle will stop the clock. We return with Canada at the offensive end. Kylie Dobson swinging it around for Annabelle Child, first team All-Ivy. Very cerebral player, Harvard, go figure. Off this turnover, Puerto Rico make a break for it. Hunter Roman, who plays collegiately at Boston College, no sale. Quick counterattack. Back comes Chevry, 2-on-1. Torres with her fourth incredible stop of the quarter. She just robbed Dobson.
And number 3 for Puerto Rico, Isa Henson-Vendral. Pick up with that one hand, getting it out of the defensive end. You need to make sure to clear that ball safely, and she ran away from a lot of pressure. Again, showing that individual stick work and the strength of her wrist. Carrasquillo, who had 10 goals at the Pan Am Championships back in June. Puerto Rico looking for a lead late in this opening quarter. Great pass and a put away for Hannah Lewis. Team substituting on the fly in sixes. Annabelle Child brings it along for Peroni. Nicole Peroni, who did a lot of damage at Louisville. Jordan Dean lobs it. Evans looks across and in tight for a stash there for Nicole Peroni. So much movement on the offensive end of the field for Canada. We see the ball moving freely. We see a pass and a cut through. Continuous on both sides of the field.
4 all in the final minute of the opening quarter. 8-minute frames in this Atlas Cup. Team Canada in the white, Team Puerto Rico in the red. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor. Katie Facciola will be our sideline reporter throughout the day in this opening game of the Atlas Cup. Feed it inside, and that's a drive and score for Delana Williams, the daughter of head coach Sean.
You see how quickly that teams can score. Just a second ago, Puerto Rico was up by 1, and now Canada is up by 1 again. It's all about the quick play.
Feed it inside. Williams with good defense there. She was hovering over a fallen Sofia Herrera. We heard a whistle before the final horn. As the officials will confer.
At the end of quarter 1, it's Canada 5.
A 4-4 deadlock. And that'll do it for the opening 8 minutes. A back and forth affair as expected. Fast break action, terrific goaltending from Puerto Rico's Joe Torres. We're done with 1 from Sparks.
They could see themselves play, and then we can correct it and then bring those corrections to the field. That's every coach's dream.
Back here at Tierney Field in Sparks, Maryland, it's a hot, muggy day, Courtney. And this field, whenever you and I have been assembled here, has often been a, shall I say, torture chamber with regard to heat and humidity, and no break today for these players.
You know, it's difficult. I'm standing here sweating, and they are sprinting back and forth continuously for 8 minutes. That's what it is. That's what the game of sixes is for lacrosse. It's, I think, the fastest discipline because there are no breaks. You just have a quick 2-minute between quarters, and then you're right back at it.
So we saw good goal scoring. We saw especially good goaltending from Puerto Rico in that opening frame. Joe Torres made at least 4 10-bell saves, or else Canada's way out in front here.
She's been a huge part of this game being close for Puerto Rico. Joe Torres basically making the save that you shouldn't make. And that was a struggle for Canada in the World Games when they were playing Team USA. The goalkeepers, both of them, Taylor Marino, Shea Dolce, they were able to steal those easy goals. And that's right now what we're seeing from Joe Torres in the red.
The American women, the nightcap of the 4 games that start this Atlas Cup. Team USA's men's and women's squad will both be in action. Games 3 and 4 on the night. This is the opener, lifting the lid of the Atlas Cup with Puerto Rico and Canada in the women's bracket, 4-4 after 8 minutes. Puerto Rico in the red. That pass from Nash Lagares is high. It's a turnover, and it'll be netminder Lauren Spence, who's very good with her outlet passes, starting the break for Bianca Chevry.
And that's unfortunate because Puerto Rico had a player-up opportunity, Delana Williams. She was sitting in the box. At the end of that quarter, she was called for a push. That's a 30-second. It's considered a foul where she is just going to be off the field and returning here shortly.
Player up behind the back, put away for Courtney, gives Canada the lead.
Canada goal, scorer number 5, Aurora Courtney.
Puerto Rico sending Isa Henson-Vendrell back. She'll share the rock with Hannah Lewis.
11, Eric Evans.
This is Hunter Roman, among the national champions with the Boston College back in the day. Spence with a good stop short side. And rifling the clear on the button for Courtney. Aurora going one-on-one to the goal, and she snapped that one wide as Torres was ready at the end of the line. It's Puerto Rico ball. The officials are going to award possession to Canada. Apparently, Torres did get a chunk of that, so Maddie Baxter will bring it in off the end line for Team Canada. Quickly to Kylie Dobson. Chevry swings it. Jordan Dean on the roll dodge, drawing a couple defenders. Chevry gets underneath and scores. Bianca Chevry.
With everybody having to play both sides of the ball, you see a lot of players, whether they were attack, middies, or defenders in college. Bianca Chevry, a stalwart defender for Syracuse during her playing days at the NCAA level. And here she's scoring goals.
Lucia Nash Lagares rings one off the iron. The long rebound starts Delana Williams back the other way. Subs coming off the bench for head coach Sean Williams. Brooklyn Walker Welch, her feed, crossing up Milana Zizakovic. Zizakovic 28 in the white. Feeds inside Walker Welch, the shovel shot that goes wide. She'll chase it down. It'll stay Canada ball. Torres gets credit for another save there. Peroni on the go, sidewinder, and she scores. Peroni has made it 3 straight for Canada.
Canada goal, scorer number 88, Nicole Peroni.
3 straight, and if you're going back to the first quarter, the score was 4-3 with Puerto Rico in the lead, and Canada has just continued to take off. Their shooting has been much more precise.
Puerto Rico in the red. Move it for Hunter Roman. Roman drawing a crowd. Shot clock's at 2. The officials bringing out a card here. It's going to be a player-up opportunity.
So this push, another minor foul, 30 seconds for Puerto Rico. Victoria Bustamante, she is going to take a seat. And this is going to be a power play for Canada. Again, they have incredible stick work. As we watch the ball move quickly, it's not just the ball, but they're going to be moving their feet, their body as well, waiting to find that open player. There are no 8 meters or 12 meters in sixes, but you have to be marking a player somewhat closely. You just can't stand in front of that goal circle area. That's considered a walling foul.
Peroni matched up there with Corretcher. Williams, her drive is snared waist high by Jo Torres. Torres, who began her collegiate career at the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. Good ride there from Child. Annabelle going to the goal. Feeds for Delana Williams. That gets away, and it'll be Carrasquillo bringing it along for Puerto Rico. Sharing with Bustamante, who's just out of the box. 8-4 at the moment for the team in white, Team Canada, as we're halfway through the second quarter. 8-minute running time frames. Carrasquillo measured by Evans. Evans, a do-it-all player for Canada at both ends. Hannah Lewis off the sweep. This pass gets away. Turnover back to Canada.
As the clock is winding down, sometimes it's good just to take a shot, even if it's low angle, but aiming for those corners as opposed to giving the goalkeeper an easy save to get that fast break started towards that opposite end.
Baxter was trail checked. Bustamante comes away with the ball for Puerto Rico. She, too, was caught there on the ride, and possession belongs to Canada in white. Zizakovic finds a friend in Jordan Dean, and Dean pops it home. That's 5 straight for Canada, 9-4 leaders.
Jordan Dean, such a strong, powerful player, wearing number 99 in white. She's actually a superstar at that draw circle, which we don't see it much in the sixes. It's just at the beginning of each quarter, but in World Championship time, you see her taking a lot of draws, winning a lot of possessions, and right now she's being called upon to use her size, her prowess on the field.
Puerto Rico takes the timeout. Puerto Rico under the direction of Monica Negron Acevedo, Kristen Parker, and Jamie Redding, the coaching staff for Puerto Rico in this Atlas Cup. As far as Canada is concerned, Sean Williams has Katie Ranger and Dan Coates with him on the bench.
As a coaching staff, as the temperatures are rising, you want to make sure you're pushing the tempo, which I'm sure they're talking about, but push the tempo, but also take your time. It seems like an oxymoron, but you don't want to just give the ball and cough it right back up, and especially let a quick opportunity of transition towards the offensive end immediately happen for your opponent. And we've seen Puerto Rico doing that these last few possessions. They haven't even gotten a shot off.
It's an early fall day here in Sparks, Maryland, but summer won't give up. Temperatures are pushing into the high 80s, much hotter than that on the turf field here at Tierney Field in Sparks, Maryland. Puerto Rico in the red has possession. This is Lucia Natch-Lagares. She works in against Zizakovic, fires that sidewinder off the target. Canada takes possession. Bianca Chevery plays with more of a defensive mindset for the Canadians.
The best offensive sets are the ones where you're not having to take a one-on-one opportunity, where you're finding that open cutter, you're moving the ball, rolling off of a pick.
Delana Williams had the ball checked out of her cross. Back comes Puerto Rico. It's Hunter Roman sprinting in. Off the split dodge, she sent it high. That goes right back to Canada. Time's a wasting. 2 minutes to go in the half.
And that was one of those empty possessions, just 7 seconds into their offensive set. They already just took a shot, wasn't near the goal cage, and that's an immediate change of possession back into the hands of Canada, which you want to avoid right now and hold on to possession as long as possible if you're Puerto Rico.
Jordan Dean fumbled one there on her way to the goal. Puerto Rico has a chance to stop this 5-goal run for Team Canada. The Canadians opening up the 9-4 advantage on the strength of a very solid second frame. Henson Vendrell, backed up with Dobson. Shot clock's at 4. Long range drive, that's easy pickings for Lauren Spence. She handled that one from Courtney. Just over a minute with which to work in the opening half. Baxter on the clear. You have 10 seconds to get it across the midline in the sixes in the Atlas Cup 2025 on the USA Lacrosse YouTube channel. Folks, don't miss your opportunity to win cash prizes. Details are in the live chat. Shot clock's at 10. Peroni. Feed inside Child. Torres with another save. She's got to be close to double figures in stops in the first half alone.
Been incredibly pressed with the goaltending of Jo Torres. She's standing tall. We see her exploding to the ball. This is going to be another 30-second penalty, unfortunately for Puerto Rico, as you see number 29, Adriana Nojame Jimenez.
Canada has asked for time with just 32 seconds remaining in the second quarter. If you're just tuning in, Erica Evans has a couple of goals for the white-clad Canadian squad. So too, a pair of markers from Nicole Peroni. Tons of offensive talent, and Sean Williams will tell you that Peroni has turned out to be more and more of a willing defender. You have to play both ways in sixes.
Nicole Peroni was one of those players during her time at Louisville that they wanted the ball in her stick. She was somebody who could go to goal quickly. Now in sixes, everybody has to have that capability to play offense as well as to play some top defense. Now granted, you have to have a goalkeeper behind you who's leading the charge as that quarterback, and Lauren Spence is certainly that for Canada.
Delana Williams playing catch with Peroni. Shot clock's at 20. Game clock with an 8-second differential. Skip it to Courtney, a sidewinder. She scores. Aurora makes it 6 straight for Canada. She has 3 different 2-goal getters for the Canadians in this opening half. Hanson Vendrell to the cage. She does tuck one in before time expires. That ends the run. In the dying stages of the half, Walker Welsh is denied once more by Jo Torres. We've played 16 minutes with Canada on top.
Puerto Rico squeaking one in right before the end of that second quarter. That has to give them a positive vibe as they are heading into halftime.
So we've played 2 quarters, and Canada, the favorite in this Atlas Cup opener, locked up in a 4-4 draw. After that, they went hyperspeed. They take the 10-5 lead to the halftime break. We'll bring you back to Tierney Field in just a few moments. As you might imagine, with 8-minute running quarters, we have rapidly gone through the opening half of play. Team Canada and Team Puerto Rico in the opening game of the Atlas Cup in the women's bracket. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor with you. Courtney, when you think about this opening half of play, Puerto Rico was right there in the first 8 minutes. Then what happened in favor of Canada?
They were answering possession for possession, Puerto Rico, but then Canada called a timeout, and head coach Sean Williams, he wanted them taking their time offensively, having a more balanced attack, and that was evidence in their play with very even scoring from every single member on that field.
Katie Facciola is our sideline reporter today at Tierney Field. Hey, Foss, what's doing with Puerto Rico's netminder, Jo Torres?
Anchoring them in this goal to this game is Jo Torres. She starred at Navy before transferring to Towson, where she started every game in 2023 with 151 saves, then added 143 more in 2024. With a 4.66 save percentage that ranked top 5 in the CAA, now she's on the sidelines as an assistant coach at American University, bringing her leadership and experience full circle. For Puerto Rico, she's not just a goalie, she's the backbone of the Sixes squad, giving them the confidence to take on anyone. Wepa! Still on?
Two teams chilling out at the half here at Tierney Field. For Team Canada, we started the day talking about Erica Evans. We'll continue to chat about her, I'm sure, throughout. What is it about her game that has matured and risen, taken her to the top level of the sport?
You know, I think it's her fitness, her ability just to be smart on the field. That's what veteran players do. She's always been one of the speediest players on the field, but when you consistently have that offense and defensive prowess, I think that's Erica Evans's biggest part, and she gets others around her involved. She doesn't need all the goals or assists in her name or the takeaway checks. She's someone who wants the entire team to do well, and that's a true leader and captain of a team. 5
goals on the board for Puerto Rico, none from Brie Carrasquillo. Does that surprise you?
You know, I think her youth is showing through a little bit. When you're younger on the team, obviously she's been on the senior team for the last 3 years, but sometimes a more veteran-laden team, which is when you look at Canada, it can be a little daunting. So I expect her to settle in here in this second half and kind of get relaxed and ready to take on the charge and lead her team.
Carrasquillo, who would have played for Team Puerto Rico at the Worlds in 2022. She played 2020 through 2024 at Yale, then did the grad student year at Oregon, where she bagged 40 goals. With Carrasquillo silent in the opening half, Hannah Lewis has a pair for Puerto Rico. There are 3 different 2-goal scorers for Canada to this point. Let's have a look at some of the highlights in the opening 16 minutes.
For the second half of the women's Puerto Rico versus Canada game. Let's make some
Canada,
noise.
as we look at their quick ball movement in and around the field, Puerto Rico giving them a dose of their own medicine, keeping the game close. Each possession was back and forth, one team scoring, the other team scoring, one team holding defensive positioning. And they made it really exciting. Puerto Rico was up 4-3, and then it was all Canada. Erica Evans on that fast break. The quicker you get the ball transitioning from defense to offense, positive things are going to happen.
Nicole Peroni got involved, Jordan Dean as well, in that run for Canada where they turned a 4-4 game into a 10-4 lead. Only the last final goal of that opening half coming from Puerto Rico with a strike from Isa Henson-Vendrell. But we mentioned the net minding. You see this in the highlights throughout the opening 2 quarters. For Jo Torres, she'll know that she'll need to be the linchpin for any rally. She's got to be able to shut down Canada and keep this game at arm's length.
It's coming up with those unsavable saves, what she's been doing. The 1v-none, anytime an attacker has the ball and is headed towards you, or sometimes a 2v1, she's still coming up with that save. You shouldn't have to make that as a goalkeeper, but she's proving time and time again that she's willing to do what it takes to keep her team in this game. Otherwise, it would be a more lopsided affair for Canada in the lead.
Draws and draw controls opening each quarter in 6s. Jordan Dean set a Division I record for draw controls. She earns possession for Canada. They pop one quickly.
We just saw that fluid offense. A lot of pass, clearing through, pass, movement again until they are waiting for that perfect shot and opportunity. Canada just looks really fine-tuned right now, obviously coming off of the World Games in August in Chengdu.
Good cut there, but the shot hits the inside of the post on a lightning fast release from Hannah Lewis. Expecting her to be at Towson in the coming season. Just finished up 3 years at James Madison. Baxter, who started the scoring for Canada, has possession in 6s play. It's the Atlas Cup on the USA Lacrosse YouTube channel. Folks, don't miss your chance to win cash prizes. Details are in the live chat. Joe and Courtney in the booth. Foss on the sideline watching this one, the first game of the tournament in the women's bracket. Delana Williams goes to goal, hesitates and scores.
Several times it looked like she was slowing things down, ready to pop the ball back high again, but then re-attacked. It was that second time, a little bit of a sleeper move, but Delana Williams coming up with goal number 12 for the Canadians.
Issa Henson-Vendrell, who played at Villanova, works to the alley on Dobson. That's a good stop there. Timing that was Lauren Spence. Great save ability. Sean Williams, the head coach for Canada, calls Spence the quarterback of the defense. Chevery brings it along. She'll share for Aurora Courtney. We were talking about the event in China. Courtney went to that one with a definitely defensive mindset. We know about her offensive resume. Turnover here to Puerto Rico.
I like that look for Jordan Dean, the cut inside, Aurora Courtney. The feed was just a little bit off, but that's that right idea that you want to do. Again, splitting that field in half, having the left and the right side work in unison as well as cross with one another.
30-second shot clock in sixes. It's down to 10 for Puerto Rico. Bustamante challenged on the outside by Courtney. A bounce shot here from No James Jimenez, kicked out by Spence. There's a card coming. Player up situation. Interference, perhaps.
As Canada is getting on their defensive players, wanting to ideally knock down any passes to the inside, you're going to notice that they're not standing in front of their goalkeeper, Lauren Spence. That would be a walling call, which we haven't seen here today. They're honoring the rules of the game. Why those rules are in place is for safety. You don't see any gear or padding on like you do in the men's game.
It was a cross-check call on Peroni that has Canada a player down. Shot clock's at 7. Bounce shot, score. The shooting continues to go well for Hannah Lewis.
Goal scored 55, Lucia Nash Lacrosse.
Peroni in possession for Canada in the white. Annabelle Child coming in off the sideline. Gets away from Hunter Roman off the roll dodge. She scores. Annabelle Child.
Annabelle Child was one of those players on the field just this past August in the World Games. She led Team Canada with 27 points. She just did a lot of work, and she was consistent on the field, and that's what you're noticing here today. Nothing flashy, but it gets the job done.
Carrasquillo bothered on her shot there. She misfires. Canada gets it back. Largest lead on the day. Torres puts up a brick wall and goal for Puerto Rico. Her outlet pass was on the button for No James Jimenez. She was rattled by Dobson. Issa Henson-Vendrell brings it across, but ran right into Aurora Courtney. A take back for Canada and a breakaway for Evans. She's in solo and she scores.
A little bit of deja vu in that moment. Erica Evans with a breakaway for the second time today. Uncontested after a excellent pressure and cause turnover for Canada, and mark another one for them.
Off the double team, Brooklyn Walker Welch going to goal. She scores. The route is on for Canada. It's 15-6. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Sofia Herrera for Puerto Rico in the red. As they look to stem the tide, Canada once again on a lengthy goal-scoring run, and it's quieted. Karetcher tucks that one home.
As the game continues on, we see a lot more swinging coming from the defensive teams. Not moving their feet, not looking to match speed, but they're looking to go for the check, and that's opening up some 1v1 lanes.
Child was denied by Torres. Child battling with Carrasquillo near the midline. It comes up for Canada. Down goes Dobson. The officials say Canada ball. Officials today, Mazda, Brush, Russo, and Niblock, presiding over this first game of the Atlas Cup. In our next matchup on the USA Lacrosse YouTube channel, we'll enjoy the Canadian men battling against Haudenosaunee. Child goes one-on-one. Ooh, that was a tough catch inside. Backside look for a Courtney rip off the post. Evans tracks down the deep rebound, looks through the seam for Courtney again. That's a turnover. Over to Puerto Rico with 2:20 remaining. Courtney will clear. Bring it on for Lucia Nash-Lagares. As Herrera jogs back in. We're balanced up. Herrera met on the outside by Child. Goal line extended to Hunter Roman. Against Peroni, good stick check there. Shot clock down to 1. Shot clock violation against Puerto Rico.
Smart that Puerto Rico just dropped the ball, didn't try to feed it in quickly. They were able to get back and set up on the defensive end of the field while Canada had to move towards the ball to get possession of it. I like when they are thinking on the field, figuring out what puts us in a better advantage for that next play.
Zizakovic going to the nets. Stuffed again by Torres. That's her 6th 1v1 stop. There's a card in a player up situation right here.
Another power play opportunity for Canada. They're going to have 5 players on the field, just to the 4 defensive players for Puerto Rico. When you have that extra player, it's all about quickly moving the ball, finding that open player, looking for the seams.
Erica Evans sharing the rock with Annabelle Child. Both of those players featuring prominently in Canada's attack. Already 15 goals on the board. As we close into the tail end of the third quarter. A pass for Courtney that's way too high for Annabelle Child. Hannah Lewis will clear for Puerto Rico. Lewis, daughter of Alan and Jennifer. Played with the Puerto Rican under-20 national team back in 2024. Vincent Hendrell looking to go to the cooker. Shot clock's at 12. Nash-Lagares. Peroni there to defend. She'll turn it over. That was very late in the shot clock to get Puerto Rico back on defense. It was 10-5 Canada after 2. It's 15-7 at the moment for the ladies in the white jerseys. Final 15 ticks of the quarter. Canada can take the last possession if they choose. Baxter goes to the goal and scores. Baxter's 2nd of this quarter. 2 seconds left in it. Last-ditch effort for Hannah Lewis as the horn and buzzer sounds. Ending 3 with Canada comfortably on top.
Canada showing that they've been in this situation before. They are generally in gold medal standing when it comes to world championships or world games. And that confidence you are just seeing on the field, as well as their well-conditioned bodies. They just seem to have more energy and pep in their step right now.
3/4 of the way through regulation time. Canada in control. Back to Tierney Field right after these words. The 2025 Atlas Cup on the USA Lacrosse YouTube channel. Coming to you from Tierney Field, USA Lacrosse headquarters. A sun splash day kickstarting the weekend. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor, Katie Facciola with you. Glad you've tuned in with us. Canada, not surprisingly, has a 16-7 advantage after 3. Team Puerto Rico there in the red, huddling up, held strong in the first 8 minutes. Since then, Canada has taken the game by the throat.
You know, I think if they can string together another solid quarter like they did for the first quarter, that would be a huge win. So kind of sandwich some matching goal for goal with the reigning silver medalist for both outdoor as well as sixes. I think that would be huge for the team in red.
Puerto Rico 23.
Getting set to start the final 8 minutes of regulation time. 8-minute running time quarters in this Atlas Cup. Canada put up 4 in the opening frame, back-to-back 6-goal quarters to take control of this outing, 16-7 at the moment. We get into the draw circle to start this final 8 minutes. Jordan Dean grabs another draw control from Carrasquillo and gets Canada the first possession of the fourth.
She does it with such ease. Jordan Dean, just 4 per game, again, very different from the outdoor 10v10 international game.
Zizakovic stonewalled by Torres. Back comes Puerto Rico on the run. It's Hannah Lewis. One-on-one with Peroni. Peroni, good defensive stick check, good positioning, and a quick check.
We talked earlier about her defense, and you can see that pressure unrelenting from the Canadians, whether it's a single person pressuring the ball or sending a quick backside double. They're not letting Puerto Rico relax at any moment on the field. And again, that's their style, their toughness.
Working to the inside, Child will dish it off. Canada gets Haudenosaunee next. They'll square off with Team USA in one of the finales on Sunday. Torres bringing this one in for Puerto Rico. We've just cleared the first minute of the fourth. Lucia Nash-Lagares had 6 goals in the Pan Am games this past summer. Did number 55 in the red. Koretcher looks across for Henson Vendrell. Dean steps out defensively for Canada. Shot clock's at 10. Nash-Lagares with Chevery peeking out. Looks to the inside of the crease, looking for Carrasquillo. That's deflected away. Canada has done a nice job on Brie Carrasquillo this afternoon. Walker Welch for Williams. She took her eyes off of it. It bounces off of her cross, and back comes Puerto Rico.
Would have been a beautiful play. Fast break from defense to offense for Canada. Brooklyn Walker-Welch, she was the one grabbing that ball with one hand. Delana Williams unable to come up with it. And now another opportunity for Puerto Rico. I'd like to see them working together more off ball, not just looking so much for isolations or forced feeds to people who are covered.
Bustamante, 9 in the red, plays at Youngstown State University. Hunter Roman, the BC Eagle, sends it back as the shot clock violation is against Puerto Rico. Wasting no time, Zizakovic twirls towards the cage. Aurora Courtney, who had a hot second quarter for the Canadians, going to the goal, slips underneath and scores. Courtney has the hat trick.
Canada goals, score number 5, Aurora Courtney.
You know, despite the score, I'd have to say the brightest spots for Puerto Rico so far, Jo Torres. You just see her time and time again taking one after the other. It's really hard to be a goalkeeper in sixes. You know that goals are going to be scored, and they're just continuing to come after you at least every 30 seconds, if not more often.
Off this roll, Koretcher ran right into a double team. Evans is there for Canada, as well as Baxter. Team Canada's largest lead on the day. Baxter looking for more. Inside, Courtney ran that one off the pipe. Torres plays bigger than her listed 5'7" frame. Been especially good with enemy attackers right on her doorstep. Almost halfway through the fourth. Brooklyn Walker-Welch. Snapshot to score there. From the angle, that was Child.
Canada goals, score by 16.
Annabelle Child again, right place, right time, just waiting on the doorstep. Always having the stick in her proper hand if she's on the left side of the field versus the right. Very controlled in her shooting.
Led Canada in points, did Child at the World Games. She had 14 goals in that session. One-on-one moves here on the outside for Herrera. Carrasquillo over the top. That was deflected by Spence, so it will stay Puerto Rico ball. Less than 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Hannah Lewis. Split dodge marked by Dean, and Walker Welch is going to go off to the races. Brooklyn Walker Welch one-on-one. Stopped by Torres. Torres has given up 17, but she's played great. Herrera inside rings that one off the iron. The ricochet to the corner. It comes up for Lauren Spence. Spence, who was a 3-year starter for Loyola and the Greyhounds, not far from here in Sparks, Maryland. Child bulldozing in. Delana Williams to the top corner.
Canada goals for
Proudly wearing that 51 number that her dad wore and played in so well.
Six is most similar to something that you might find in your backyard. Again, it's all about free movement, play, being able to play both sides of the ball. It's such a fun, quick style of lacrosse. There are not necessarily any specialties except for the goalkeeper, as everybody is playing offense and defense.
Canada on the verge of a 20 spot. They have 19 goals on the board. They're all singles. There are no twos and sixes. 2.5 to play in the fourth. Evans from deep snapped it wide. That'll go back over to Puerto Rico. Solid showing for the Canadians. They'll face Team Haudenosaunee tomorrow. Henson Vendrell brings it across. 30 seconds to shoot. Shot clock's at 12. This is Hunter Roman. Dobson keeping tabs on her. Just less than 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Carrasquillo, feed the crease. Shot clock violation against Puerto Rico. Zizakovic was pushed. It'll stay Canada ball. Baxter hiding in one-on-one. Fires and scores. That's the 20th on the day for Canada. Baxter with her second goal of the second half.
If Puerto Rico takes their time, they have this offensive possession and then a defensive possession and then one more offensive set. It's going to say they could have had potentially another opportunity to score 2 more times.
Puerto Rico gets the United States tomorrow in an Atlas Cup play. Accordingly, sharing the ball for Dean. Her dunk rattles around and in. Count it for Jordan Dean. 21-7 for the ladies in white.
And that was unlucky for Jo Torres. It looked like she got a piece of that
Big chunk.
goal.
She got a big chunk of it, Courtney, but not enough. Koretcher fires a kick save for a kneeling Lauren Spence. Spence took a really big vocal step up in China. Head coach Sean Williams telling us that Spence was the vocal anchor of his defense. Annabelle Child carries in. Should be Canada's final possession. Baxter has the hat trick in the second half alone.
As impressed as you are that Canada has scored 22 goals, I'm more impressed with their defense, that they've only allowed for 7 goals for Puerto Rico. They're tough, they're physical, they don't give a lot of space to the players in red.
Lewis with Carrasquillo, final 10 seconds of this game. Canada with 8 markers in the fourth alone. Carrasquillo with a well-placed shot there to cash in for her first.
Puerto Rico goals scored by 23,
Bree Carrasquillo finishing matters. This one's in the books in the favor of Canada by the final score of 22-8.
Impressive game for Canada as they were dominant on both sides of the ball.
And at the horn, your final score, Canada 22, Puerto Rico 8.
So Team Canada and Team Puerto Rico getting the Atlas Cup on the USA Lacrosse YouTube channel off and running. Just a reminder, don't miss your chance to win cash prizes. Details are in the live chat. First game's in the books. Canada a 22-8 decision. You said you were very, very impressed with Canada defensively. In particular, as the game wore on, what did they do well to put the clamps on Puerto Rico?
Never giving a single bit of space. Even when Puerto Rico was bringing the ball out of their defensive end to the attacking side, instead of waiting all the way at the midfield line, they picked them up early. And that tells you they were prepared and ready to be full field defensive pressure.
Going through the handshake line, these two squads. Canada will see Haudenosaunee tomorrow. Canada and the United States set for a Sunday showdown in the Atlas Cup. And Puerto Rico, impressive in the opening 8 minutes, hung in there with the high-powered Canadians. And then, as these replays and highlights will show, Canada took over.
Maddie Baxter showing her speed, her power on the field, or accordingly as well for Canada. The offense just moved the ball well. Not any one person was doing the heavy lifting for Canada, and that's what I think was most impressive. Puerto Rico not giving up, but just too much to handle the Canadians as they just battled every single quarter. And I'd say their slow start was probably just the only small black mark on this entire game for them.
Yeah, very efficient offensive game for Canada. Their shooting percentage, as you would imagine, pretty good. The silencer, though, at that end of the field for Puerto Rico was Jo Torres. She was magnificent. Even though she surrendered 22 goals, she took away at least a dozen more from Team Canada.
If I'm looking at Puerto Rico and looking for a player that was a difference maker, without a doubt, goalkeeper Jo Torres. Her last 2 college seasons played right around the corner at Towson University. She was somebody who was not backing down, whether it's a 1v none or a settled 5v5 situation. Just, she was impressive.
Courtney, here's what we have coming up. We've completed that first one. Team Canada victorious. We're about to see Team Canada's men's squad tangle with the Haudenosaunee Nationals.
And that's always a fun matchup to watch. Canada versus the Haudenosaunees. Reminds me out in San Diego for the Men's World Championships. What a big game that was. And then ending with back-to-back Team USA men and then the women 7 and 8:30 tonight.
Our Capelli player of the game belongs on the Team Canada side, and it's Erica Evans, who we highlighted at the outset of the telecast, who we expected to be the driving force of the offense. She was, and she had plenty of help.
Erica Evans, that veteran player for Team Canada. She's just calm, cool, and collected on the field. Fun to watch, scoring goals or causing turnovers on defense.
Solid showing for Team Canada, a 22-8 decision. You see the numbers breaking down. A healthy number of saves for Jo Torres. Of those 15 officially, at least 12 of them were marvelous in the terms of the one-on-one variety. Not enough, though, to keep Canada from a 22-8 decision. That's game 1 of the Atlas Cup. Our second game today, Canada and Haudenosaunee on the men's side. That's what we have next for you on the USA Lacrosse YouTube channel. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for Katie Facciola, for all the hardworking men and women in our crew. Joe Beninati, thanks so much for your time. We'll see you in a few moments. We'll get Canada and Haudenosaunee ready on the men's side for more Atlas Cup from Sparks, Maryland.